knows where to find you. God only knows how to break through. God only knows the real you. There's a kind of love that God only knows where to find you. God only knows how to break through.
Your
God only
voice is not there,
knows the
just music.
real you.
Thank you, Sharon. I appreciate that. Yes, sometimes I get most everything right. How many of you, that's you? You get most everything right. And the only way you typically get it all right is when you have friends, coaches, mentors, teachers, trainers, people who want you to succeed, give you guidance. That's the conversation today. What is your life's GPS? What is the GPS, the global positioning, the galactic positioning software that you use? Most of the times people will say it's scripts. Most of the times people will say it's social media. What is your global, your galactic, your galaxy positioning? Where are you positioned in the galaxy? If you had to just close your eyes for just a second and figure out where are you located in the galaxy, it might be, it could be, it probably will be a little bit of a challenge. Why would it be such a challenge? Why would finding out where your GPS is centered on, where your GPS is coordinated from, why would it make such a difficult challenge for you to find out where your GPS is centered, right? For those of you that I'm going to get just a smidge techie, most of you probably know this. What's the minimum number of satellites? What's the minimum number of satellites that GPS uses to locate your position? Anybody know? Drop it in the chat. And the reason I ask that is because where are you? How are you identifying where you're at? What are you referencing your life against? A three. It's the same as how many likes to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop roll. 3 satellites will give you the coordinates, will ping you a position. Now, how do they know that the satellites ping your position? How do they know that you're within a few feet of your position? Because we know how far the satellites, right? The laws of the universe know how far the satellites are orbiting and operating and what speed they're operating at and how fast the ping goes out and the ping comes back. So let me ask you, 3 satellites. What are your 3 satellites? Your past, your present, and your future. See, the challenge that most people don't know where they're at, the challenge that most people don't realize where they are, the challenge that most people can't find where they are is because they don't have a clear identifying ping from their past. You're all over your past. Hell, some of you, your past hasn't died. You haven't even launched the past satellite. It is still the present. Once you identify where you've come from, oh, I know where I came from. Yeah, but you haven't let it go. It's still the wound. It ain't the scar. You haven't launched the satellite. You haven't launched the past to be that positioning that you can say, I will never go back there. How many of you are repeating your past? I would never ask you that. Drop an RP in the chat, if you know somebody who's repeating their past. And it kind of frustrates you because you know they're repeating their past. Does that make sense? So if they're repeating their past, they've never launched their satellite. They can't look at it and go, that's where I was. It's still right here, and go, and this is where I am. So their life GPS doesn't get started. Their life GPS doesn't have that 3rd satellite to ping on if they have launched their present and if they have launched their future. It's kind of corny, isn't it? Drop a C in the chat if this is corny. I think it's corny, but I think it's good. I think it's a good corny. I think we listened to Jim Quick this morning talking about how you remember things. And it's so important that you weave in the unbelievable. It's important that you weave in the unbelievable so that your brain goes, well, that's an odd image. And by the way, super huge congratulations to Quan. Super Data 3 just took a bold move and moved to a new location. And in that move has gotten new community, more income, better location for his kiddos. Just absolutely. And how they moved off on that journey and how they moved through that I just listen, brother. I am so proud to call you a friend and mentor and teacher, and just brother, I love you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for sharing that. And listen, congratulations on really just stepping out and saying, I want more, and launching your past within a 3-week period of a couple of trips to a location. And now all of a sudden they said, you know what they said? Listen, this is what they said. They said, we want some of that. Quan showed up, and he showed up with such joy and this passion and this love. And they go, we want some of that. And they were willing to pay for some of that. You go, big boy. You go, sexy. We want Quan. I want some of that. I I love it. So I just want a huge shout out for that, because that's stepping into the unknown. That's literally launching your past to have a future, to change your present. So let's get back to your GPS. Here's the GPS. So launch your past. How do you launch your past? Write it down. This is what I was. Here's where I were. That blah, blah, blah. What you've got to launch your past. The way you launch your past is imagine a teeter-totter. A teeter two? A what? A what? Are you talking about the girl on Yellowstone? No, that's just Teeter. Squirrel. So imagine a teeter-totter. Right now, you keep going back between your past and your present, your past and your present. And you're even bringing some of your future into that. And it's just this teeter-totter. You're trying to stay balanced. How many of you are trying to stay balanced? We all want this balance. There's no such thing as balance. There is a focus that will give you balance. You cannot operate in balance if you believe you have to be everywhere for everyone at every time. This is a big, huge problem for the female brain. Guy brains usually piss off the female brain when they choose to go, I'm going to go do this. And they just focus on one thing. Let me let you in on a little secret. We can't really think of more than one thing. We don't have seriously, we do not have the wiring, the amazing skill set that you have of not multitasking. Nobody can multitask. That one I'll take you to court on. You can't multitask. You just have a tremendous memory for a whole bunch of stuff that you can do rapidly in succession and be exhausted. But that's a whole nother story. So the way you launch your past is you get so present in the now. You get so present in this moment. You get so present that you choose gratitude. You're in this moment that it literally, you sit down in the present and it launches your past into the stratosphere. It launches your past into the stratosphere. So now let's say your past is launched. You are now present. You are in this moment. So, okay, I launched my past. I know that's what I was. I've never forgotten it. It's there. It's like a star. I can look at it. I can see everything about it. It's this little star of my past in this heavens of my vision. Yet it's a whole galaxy of thousands of planets, of planet A-hole, planet B-hole, planet. Right? You got planet. Do you really have Uranus in the planets right there? Right? All of these things. That's your galaxy, but it's so far away now. It's just a star. And you see that there's this one illuminating thing called your past that lights up all of these other things. This makes sense? So your GPS, your galactic positioning satellite, you now have one place to ping off of. You have not one place to reference off of. You have one place to reference off of. How far away is that place that you never want to go back to? Some of you, when I say this phrase about your future, listen carefully. When I say this phrase about your dreams coming true, when I say this phrase about the things that you want in life, everything is as close as your skin. Drop a C in the chat if your past was always as close as your skin. See, we don't reference that. My past was always Sean keeps telling me about my dreams are so close. They're as close as my skin. Everything I want is as close as my skin. And it's true because your past was as close as your skin. What happens if all of a sudden you launch the past into the stratosphere, into this galactic space of past? It's so big in your life. It's going to be one of the brightest stars. Please don't make it your North Star to guide yourself by. How many of you are getting changing the way you look at things, and the things you look at change? So now you're present. Now you're present. Now you're teeter-tottering between your present and what I call the frontier. Your present and the frontier, your future. Well, when does your frontier exist? It can only exist now. So if you become even more present now, you can launch your frontier into the future, into the stratosphere, and it's as close as your skin, because every time you look at it, you know exactly what's there. And now you have 3 points: your past, your future, and your present. And you can judge the rate of motion, the rate of momentum, the rate of energy that you are putting into things, which one you are being drawn towards faster. That makes sense? A GPS only counts down based upon your destination. It doesn't count how long you've been driving. Too many of you are using your GPS to count how long you've been driving, how long you've been alive, how long you've been bitching, how long you've been screwed over, how long you've been just everything, how long you've had problems. You're using your GPS to count from the place of pain to where possibly you're going. See, there's no destination time on it. I think it was Jim Rohn or Bob Proctor or somebody said, a goal without a deadline is simply a wish. Earl Nightingale says, the worthy pursuit of an ideal. What would be ideal? There's so much in that word ideal. What if your GPS was plugged in to be an ideal location? What would that look like? Here's the challenge. We don't know. We can't plug into our GPS because we don't have an ideal location, our definite major purpose. Until you have that ideal location, listen, there's going to be traffic jams and road delays and detours and everything else. Your GPS will always reroute. Here's the reason you're not hearing that annoying voice. Rerouting. In 500 feet, please take a U-turn. In 700 feet, take a right turn. You missed that one, dumbass. In 100 feet, take another turn. Are you paying attention? Take a turn. I'm trying to get you there. Your GPS doesn't do that. Your GPS doesn't do that. Because why? Because it's tracking from how far you've come. And why would you track how far you've come? Because you need recognition. And we all need recognition. It's called ego. The challenge is we're edging goodness out. We're edging goodness out instead of edging greatness on. If you knew your dreams, listen, if you really spent some time with your dreams, if your dreams could physically manifest themselves and pluck you up out of this present moment and whisk you 5 years forward to the dream you have in your mind right now, how much would it look like Minecraft? What do you mean, Sean? Minecraft is that thing where they put these building blocks together and everything is square. Drop an M in the chat if you know what Minecraft is. Maybe you've never played it, but you probably have seen some of the pictures of it. How many of your dreams would look like a crappy Minecraft image? This would be square and there might be a blue thing over there, and I'm not sure if that's water or a glass of water because you can't really size the damn things. Minecraft is all about building communities, right? You go find the little square cows and you get the meat and it builds you up, and you go find the iron rocks and you get to this, and you can make tools. If I were to take you right now and you've got 5 minutes to pack, and get on this bullet train that's going to advance you, this quantum bullet train that's going to take you 5 years into the future. You arrive and it drops you off, and the thing lets you out, the doors open up on your bullet train, and the GPS that you have locked in for 5 years from now, where's it take you? You want to hear the shitty thing? Some of you, it won't take you 4 feet. Because there's no clarity. The only thing you have clear is that you're gonna have lunch today. The way that you eliminate procrastination is you have a clear plan that you're always working towards. If I have to deliver you to the hospital, I'm not going to sit there and go, I didn't get the paper today. Did you read the paper today? I know you can't talk, that thing's stuck in your throat, but did you get can I get your paper? You're not going to do that. You have a definite major purpose. You got a definite major problem. Ooh, this is good. Some of you, most of you, the 98% of you, probably none of you on here, you're all of the excellent superstars. You're in the 2%. But the other 98% of the people that you're going to go have a conversation with today are working on their DMP, their definite major problem, which is what? I don't have any money. Well, that's in the past. Listen carefully. Ask yourself this question. Isn't my lack of money in the past? Well, it's present. No, right now you have unlimited possibility. How do you make the unlimited possibilities, the unlimited total abundance? How do you eliminate that? How do you crush that? How do you throw that out? You bring your past in. You plug in your GPS and go, give me 5 minutes ago. Shit, I was broke then. Well, I guess I'm broke now. Well, you're a gum gum for dumb dumb, right? Night at the library or whatever that was called. Gum for dumb dumb bring gum. Squirrel. So your GPS can't locate you because everything is too close. How many of you know that when your GPS, you turn it on and you stop at a traffic light? How many of you have ever watched it flip you around? You go, oh crap. I remember the first couple of times that happened to me back in the day when we were on our dinosaurs and we were using GPS called crows or pterodactyls. The pterodactyl would turn around like, am I going the wrong way? How many of you have ever said, am I going the wrong way? And you know damn well you're going the right way, but GPS flipped it around. That's because there's no movement. There's got to be some movement. Galactic positioning. Imagine how anybody know horses? Anybody know horses? Anybody ever ride a horse? Drop an H in the chat if you've ever ridden a horse. Listen carefully. Horse is a big beast. And it doesn't matter if it is a Clydesdale or a workhorse or a pony. When you get on that horse, can they feel you? Oh, hell yes, they can feel you. Why? Because they can feel a fly on their back. They can feel a fly land on their back. They're pretty sensitive. Do you realize how little you have to move to activate your GPS? Do you realize how little, how almost insignificant in the total overall positioning of you in the galaxy, how little you have to move for the galaxy to find you, for your dreams to find you? For them to update. Some of you haven't updated your software. You haven't updated your software. God forbid, update your hardware. Some of you are running on using a GPS, your life GPS that runs on squirrels. 8-pound squirrels like Cro-Magnon man squirrels. That's the hardware. The software, you haven't updated the software. How do you update the software? Every morning with your gratitude blessings is how you get your daily update. Wouldn't it be fair to say that life throws so much stuff at you, so much good, so much not so good, so much anger and so much love? Isn't it fair to say that every day you might need an update on your software? Because if you carry over yesterday's piss-offedness, you haven't updated your software. Ooh, that was good, right? That one kind of hit. That one landed. Didn't that one land? If you're carrying over yesterday's misery and yesterday's arguments, you haven't updated your software. You're running old software and you're pissed off that you keep winding up at the same place. Starting tomorrow, we're starting the journey into self called dangerous consciousness. And when you become conscious of where you are, you will get so absolutely pissed off. You'll finally make some adjustments and upgrades in your hardware and in your software, because you are going to say, I am not going to carry this pain anymore, ever. See, this is why it's dangerous. See, it's dangerous to go dabble into your consciousness, because you're going to realize you ain't had it. You haven't been at the driver's, you haven't been in the driver's seat in decades. You've been on somebody else's bus called average. The amount of energy that it takes to go sit in the own driver's seat, the ability, we call it sustained thought. When you decide to take control of your own vehicle of destination and follow your own GPS, how many of you go online to go watch somebody else's videos, mine included? Listen, I'm not asking you to follow my GPS. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm making you aware of things you should be working on your own, in your own planet, in your own galaxy. You follow me? I'm not telling you, well, you should do this and then you should do that. You should do, listen, go get Chat GPT, whatever it is, or Google. They'll tell you the how. I'm not telling you the how. I'm having a conversation with your king, your sovereign, your queen, your galactic being, about positioning you in the universe of your own success and getting your ass in gear so that you can finally run your own kingdom and not stop being a slave in somebody else's. Ooh, snap. See, the kingdom you're in is so cool, they let you think you're going to win. Why is it? How do you believe? How is it possible that 98% of the people are not where they want to be? They know, they say they're not where they want to be. And yet when somebody comes along and says, you got to get your ass in gear, it's like, you don't know what my life is about. Oh, so we're going to the past. You're using your past GPS to say you've arrived at your destination, pain and misery. If you decide to step into this dangerous consciousness conversation, there's going to be some awakenings. You're going to start to see the king has no clothes. You're going to start to see how absolutely beat up your vehicle is from all of the people pushing you into corners that you didn't want to be into. How many of you drop a P in the chat if you've ever been pushed into a corner and you didn't know how you got there? See, the corner I'm talking about is being broke. The corner I'm talking about is being fired from the job. The corner I'm talking about is losing a relationship. The corner I'm talking about is having somebody cheat on you. The corner I'm talking about is having somebody steal from you. The corner I'm talking about, see, you had control over all of those and you've just been blaming everybody else. Life happens for you, not to you. And as soon as you wake up to that, that's level 1 consciousness. Life happens for me. This happened for a reason. I asked for this. You believe in the law of attraction. It's not a freaking light switch, ladies and gentlemen. It's always on, always on. Let's see how often. Always on. So are you ready to take the journey into dangerous consciousness? I promise you, if you can, let me say it this way. You're hanging on by your fingernails now. I'm not going to leave you there. How many of you have seen the little kid who's hanging onto the rope in the pool and he's screaming, oh, 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 and the dad comes over and stands him up and he's in waist deep water, but he thought because he couldn't feel the floor. Some of you, I'm going to stand you up. Some of you, you're going to wind up standing up. And when you stand up, you're going to realize 2 things, how big you are in the universe, and you're going to scare the hell out of some of the people who have seen you only laying down their entire life. That's it. I'm going to allow you on the journey. There'll be about 10, 15-minute little sessions. Where the rest of the time is going to be in the open Q&A, is in the open dialogue. That's the part you need to pony up for. If you're ready. See, I'm not going to charge you to go wake up if you want to stay asleep. I'm not going to charge you. If you're not going to wake up in this new world order, this new understanding, this new economy that's happening right now, this winter that's coming. I if you're okay with hanging out in hopeless shelters. Ooh, that one hit, didn't it? That one hit. If you're okay with hanging out in hopeless shelters, oh, you got a home, you got a family that loves you. You got a job, you got some income coming in, you've got food, you got running water, you got electricity, you got Zoom. You're hopeless though. You've given up on hope. If you're not quantum decades ahead of where you, well, let me ask you, are you living your dream right now? Is this where you told everybody you'd be 20 years ago? Or did you tell everybody 10 years ago, 5 years ago, you're going to be a millionaire? You're going to just crush this thing. Well, you've crushed it. This is what happens when you use those words. You've crushed it. Congratulations. This is dangerous. It's dangerous to all of the fear that you've lived with. It's dangerous to all of the doubt. Listen, it will have an effect on your body. I've had people who have started these processes. When I've started to mentor some people, their bodies have literally shut down. What I mean by that is they became constipated, and it was almost a week. Literally, your body holds on to your old shit. And it forces you. This is neuroencoding. It is so wired into your DNA. It is so wired into from your parents. It is so wired in from your grandparents. You are, it's rare that you've broken a generational curse. It's rare. Maybe you've gone to college. That's simply progression. That's simply progress. That's not generational. That's simply progress. It's a great start. It's progress. Somebody's got to be the first one. I'm glad it was you. Yet, so somebody type in the chat, how long ago were you the first? If you were the first one to graduate from college, how many years ago did you graduate? Somebody type in the chat. Somebody give me a number. How many years ago did you graduate? So if you're the first one to graduate college, and it's 20 years ago, and it's 27 years ago, and it's 2015, it's almost 10 years ago, 8 years ago. What have you done since? What have you done since? See, you cross that finish line, proves you have the capability. What's holding you back? If you've done something that's never been done before, how is there ever a delay in any of your dreams? Because the past showed back up. How many of you, listen, you don't have to answer this one. How many of you went to college because they made you? You went out of honor and respect. Because there's probably a good chance you're not even using what you were taught, what you were trained for. How's that GPS working? I'm going to kick my ass. I'm going to bust my ass. I'm going to go do something, and I'm going to get the accolades, and then that's it. We're just going to put it on the shelf. You know what curse would probably be better to break? The one about how abusive your family was. Oh, I'll never be like that. No. What I'm saying is go teach it. Go show people what a good mindset, what a good dedication, what a good desire is, that I can come out of such of a absolutely screwed up history of my past, launch it into space, and start to let everybody else see it. The reason that nobody can find you is because you haven't launched it. You haven't given them a place to see where that's where you came from. You seem like this extra super stellar being. I didn't know. I thought you were just an earthling. I didn't know you came from there. I didn't know you were an extra special terrestrial being. Dangerous consciousness will launch your past so it becomes a star that others can look on. And they can wish upon it, not knowing that they wouldn't wish for it. This is what dangerous consciousness does. And this is how, when you decide, if you decide you're going to take it, you are going to get drugged behind your future. Your future is going to get so clear that you will get run over with fear and doubt. Yet when you become dangerously conscious, your old story winds up becoming fuel, not fear. You've wanted it. You've had conscious moments. You've become totally clear on your desires, your wants and wishes. It's just lasted for a day or two. You went to a big event, you got excited, you wrote down your goals, and by the time you got home, shit happened and you're back to where you were. There's moments where your old story got so scared, you started breaking out in a sweat. How many of you have had a dream where you started to break out in a sweat? How many of you have had a conversation with somebody where you started to break out into a sweat? Your old story was so fearful for its life, it literally put your body into a trauma state. You talking about your dreams. Tell me how that's screwed up. Just saying. So, tomorrow starts dangerous consciousness. Tomorrow starts a conversation about self. Becoming aware that you have a self and how to access the unlimited potential that is in the self. Tomorrow's just a basic general conversation about self. Be about 15 minutes long live, and then we go into the live Q&A. And I'm going to allow you on this journey for the first week or so. And then it's only open to those who have decided to join in, decided to wake up. I don't want you sitting here hitting the snooze button on your life. You're going to make a decision. I'm in or I'm out. And I'm okay with either. Because there's some big things already that have happened since I started talking about this 6 months ago. See, I've been prepping for this for 6 months. How long have you been prepping for tomorrow? Prepping for it. The presentation that you have tomorrow. The presentation you have tomorrow is called your life. How long have you been prepping for it? We're already in. It's going to stay the same right now. This is all going to stay the same right now. The same links, the same everything. Because God forbid I changed links or I put the link out yesterday about what's going to happen tomorrow. Everybody because of just it's a mess. So you'll learn once you're inside the program where the new links are going to be and what the fees are and all of that stuff. So I love you tons. I hope your life GPS gets activated. Launch your past, launch your future so that you can finally sit in the moment of gratitude, the now, and you'll have clearer directions than you've ever had before. And it'll be faster than you ever thought possible. I'm your head GPS training misfit. I'll see y'all where? I'll see you in the dangerous consciousness conversation. Till then, bye for now. YouTube, love you tons. Appreciate you all. Watch for conversations. There's going to be some new YouTube channels and a variety of things that are going to be happening. So I love you tons. I'll see y'all where? At the next dangerous consciousness.